Alright, so what's going on is there is a downed power line in Westbury. I don't like people feel the need to walk right my way. See, it's packed in there. It's packed. It's only those 12 is here and not doing anything. Maybe they're up on the platform. It's packed in there. Anyway, let's see what the sign says. Another day, another major issue on the main line. So here we go. Let's see what the sign says. Weather-related issues. That's only for the Babylon branch, though. They don't care about us. This is the way we are treated here. And of course there are no shuttle buses. Of course, the suspensions are going on for an hour. There's no shuttle buses for people. They're just leaving us stranded again. I'm telling you, Patrick Nowakowski must resign. You know, so there's a train sitting here. Oh, it's a little icy here, I gotta be careful. This train isn't going anywhere, and they just put this sign up here that says, please listen for announcements. Let's keep zooming. Please listen for announcements. So, people are just waiting on this train here that's stuck in the station. At least they're keeping it open for people. This is probably the 5:32 train. Look at this. Look at the ice here. They don't have anyone clearing the ice at all. No one. I'm sure there are people in the Babylon branch doing it, but not here. Slippery out here. There's ice all over the place. Why the fuck isn't there anyone putting salt down? All about the fucking Babylon branch. I'm so fucking mad about it. There should be too. Sorry for the yelling and the cursing, but this is getting out of hand. Even Matt Camper, who's a relatively calm guy, is getting mad about it because it's outrageous what's going on. All about the damn Babylon branch. That's the only branch that runs in bad weather. Let's look at the phone. They're turning trains back to Huntington.
Okay, thank you.
Update.
Let's inform that we are not going west. We're not going west this evening. We are going to turn at some point instead of back on the train. Again, you are welcome to stay on the train. We'll be making all the stops back on the train. I'm not sure when we will be departing, but we're told to set ourselves up in order to go back.
Let's go into the shelter. Train is being terminated and being sent back to Huntington. God. I'm glad I'm here to cover this because News 12 is not. Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing to focus. We're having some difficulty here. I do apologize. Suspended until further notice. So what we will have to do is we're going to have to take the N24 bus and we're going to have to take the bus because it's going to be quite some time before we're going to be able to, before service is restored. PSEG is going to take time. But the Babylon branch is running smoothly, so that's the thing. This is what goes on. So I figured I'd show you this absolute bullshit. Now, I know it's PSEG. See, it also says here, focus. Yeah, it also says that there's a suspension on the Westhampton and East of Great Neck. So these are all the neglected areas, the North Shore, Westhampton Branch, Main Line. But the Babylon branch is running just fine. I'm trying to do this. You know, guys, I don't get paid for this. I have my own mental illness. This is stressing me out a great deal. No problems on the Babylon branch. Looks like they could cancel a couple of Babylon trains, but the Babylon branch is running. Well, I'm sure there'll be people complaining. Meanwhile, everybody is left for dead, left stranded on the main line tonight. Absolutely, absolutely fucking disgraceful. Patrick Nowakowski. And PSEG Long Island. The poles on the main line, they're old. They've never been replaced. But do they replace them? No, they don't replace them. They only replace the poles. Guess where they replace the poles? Guess who gets the newest utility poles? The South Shore. It's unbelievable. Because of freaking Wall Street. This is what's going on. Such as the Babylon branch. Of course. Guys, you gotta use the Babylon branch. Always use the Babylon branch. Don't even bother using the main line. You can't rely on it at all. So, I gotta see if we can try to get the N24 now. Or the 22. Maybe one of those two buses we're gonna take going back, because main line is not running tonight. This is a constant issue. They don't have any shuttle buses. They don't have any buses here at all whatsoever for people. And they just leave people stranded. And if people don't know, and we get the usual guys hanging out here. They don't do anything about that. Only the Babylon branch. Only the fucking Babylon branch. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. We're gonna have to take nice bus. Let's see, 22. There's one at 6:43, and then I think there's a 24 also at 6:38. So we're gonna have to get the 24. That's what we're gonna have to do. It's gonna be crowded too, but let's go. Thanks again. Long Island Railroad at this point. Well, looks like we're gonna have a 1700 for the ride back. So here we go. Let's get on. Now we have nearly 50,000 customers out of power. It's actually not a big crowd at all. That was the 22 that we saw. We got ahead of it. That's funny. So not too many people. Not too many people here. I'm surprised. Actually, no, that's one of the 22s that starts here in Mineola. I'm surprised that there must have been a bus that came just before us, because there's still no service on the main line right now. This station is deserted. Everything's completely shut down. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm so grateful I have a bus that'll take me home when that happened. Anyway, we're going to go up and over and show you what's going on here. And hopefully so we're going to cross over here, go upstairs. But it's completely shut down. There's a lot of people waiting to go east. Oh, we're going up.
Potential service disruptions due to high winds and downed trees. Please use caution and anticipate extra travel time. Please check NTA.info for service-related changes.
For Jefferson, non-continent, and Eastern Railroad service is suspended in both directions until further notice.
Still suspended, so. Still hear the wind howling through here. I don't get is this, why they have to suspend the Oyster Bay Bridge. The problem is in Westbury. You hear me all the way. The problem is in Westbury. So why can't they have Oyster Bay trains running, and then you could have even the electric trains come in and then just turn at East Williston? But they just shut everything down and tell us, you're on your own, take Nice Bus. They don't even tell you to take Nice Bus. They don't even provide you with bus alternatives anymore. They don't do that anymore. So everybody's still waiting. Oh yeah, look at how crowded it is in here. Oh my God. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. There's wall-to-wall people in here. We're not going in here, but take a look. It's jammed in there. Everybody's waiting. So, there's some railroad employees here. There's somebody else out there that's disgusted. There's a lot of people that are disgusted about this. They're not providing any shuttle buses or anything. I'm just telling people to take the N22 or N24 to the F train at 179th Street. And if you're going to Hicksville, Westbury, or Carl Place, take the 22 or 24. There's no service. There's no train service. Don't even buy a ticket. If you're going to the city, go over there, across the bridge, go to the bus station there, Mineola Intermodal Center, get the 22 or the 24 to the F train.
How can you get to Jamaica?
I just told you. And no, the 22 or 24 bus to 179th Street.
Where's the bus at?
You gotta go, walk over there, see where that elevator is? You go over, across that bridge on that elevator, go to the other side of the tracks, and the 22 and the 24. You're not running, no train service. If you want to take the train, use the Babylon branch. It's the only reliable branch on the railroad. So I am helping people here. You know, it's funny, they have employees standing there, but they're not advising people to use the buses. They're not telling anybody anything. They don't even know.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
So, and by now they should have been able to get some shuttle buses from the city. Ridiculous. You know, it's pretty sad, but it's getting to the point where sometimes Nice Bus is more reliable than the main line. It really does seem like that. Is why they can't run the Oyster Bay train. Those employees said that there was an Oyster Bay train that came through, but there was no information on the app or anything about that. I couldn't find anything on Facebook about it. You know, they could at least be running trains to Mineola. And one of the customers said, why don't you just run the trains to Mineola, get in the buses from the city. MTA is this huge fleet of New York City buses. Get them out here, run a bus bridge between here and Hicksville. You know, like during the construction, you know, when they were doing the bridge replacement. But they don't do that. So, there you go, folks. That is what's going on the Long Island Railroad. This is the way we're treated. It's an absolute disgrace. I understand this is a pretty bad storm. But, again, it's how they handle these problems. That is what is really the issue. And as you can see, there's no, they don't even tell people alternate service. Appears there's some track work going on over here. I don't know what they're doing, but there's something going on. So, you know, doing this is not easy for me. I wish I didn't have to talk about it, but unfortunately, this is the way it is. This is what's going on here on Long Island. And in my next video, which after this whole storm is done, we're going to talk about how the property values have been shooting up. I'm talking about even places that aren't even places that are not by a Long Island Railroad station. If you're in the town of Hempstead, those areas in the town of Hempstead are coveted right now. Even places like East Meadow and Levittown, property values are going through the roof. Incomes are 6 figures in those towns now because all these rich people are coming in because of the Babylon branch. All these rich commuters, that's why they're going there. And this is what's going on. And you're not seeing this effect on the main line as much, but in the South Shore areas, town of Hempstead, everybody wants to be there. There's not enough supply, and as a result, the prices of homes are going through the roof. You know, at this rate, I would not be surprised in a couple of years if the average price for a home on the South Shore goes up to $1 million, if this isn't brought under control. All right, guys, we got to get right into these problems here on the Long Island Railroad because it's been a doozy of a day for us here on the main line. A number of cancellations, and then the big one here. Main line service suspended as a result of a fallen utility pole across the tracks near Westbury. This happened 3 hours ago. The service still has not been restored yet on the main line, and there is no shuttle buses being provided. This is an absolute disgrace. And you know, I understand this is a really bad storm, probably some of the worst wind we've seen since Hurricane Sandy. But to not have a backup plan in place with shuttle buses, to not have not to be properly, and also those poles in Westbury are very old utility poles that should have been replaced years ago. This falls on PSEG Long Island, so I'm going to blame them too for this. But anyway, so we have this congestion service suspension, fallen utility pole near the tracks at Westbury. And now and this is what gets me. Oyster Bay trains also suspended. If it happened in Westbury, why can't they run the Mineola? So there's problems on a lot of branches. The only branch that seems to be running smoothly right now is the Babylon branch. We have service suspension on the main line, and also we have some delays on the Babylon branch, but all there are delays. And then the Port Washington branch was hit by a suspension too between Great Neck and Port Washington, and they did cancel some Babylon trains as a result because of an equipment shortage. So this is just a major problems tonight on the Long Island Railroad. I can't even go through all of these cancellations and suspensions going on. But it's being remained until further notice on the main line. The main line's pretty much being left for dead right now. We are left for dead. And a fallen tree across the tracks. So a lot of down trees, obviously. This is a very bad storm. All right, here we go. They are finally operating an hourly shuttle service between Penn and Mineola, making all stops. All right, so finally, then just 9 minutes ago, they have finally decided to run a shuttle service to Mineola. And this is what they should have been doing all along. Why it took them that long to come up with that plan. Again, it shouldn't even come up. It shouldn't even take that long. All right. And I already heard that somebody. Where did I hear this? Somebody said that their train. I read somewhere on Facebook that their train actually went Ronkonkoma and Diesel dual mode went along the Babylon branch and then took the Central branch. So this fallen pole is going to cause a lot of problems and a lot of headaches. Pretty much on the main line. For all the commuters that are stuck in the city right now due to this problem, my prayers are with you, really, they are. But my advice to you in the future, just use the Babylon branch. And as far as, the parking situation, I think really there needs to be, it's too much stuff going on right now to talk about it, but I really think that needs to be some kind of protest about the parking situation. And you just park in front of people's houses. That's what I would do. I just park in front of people's houses. You know, if you know the weather's going to be bad, take the Babylon branch, park in front of someone's house, and you know, and we're gonna, like I said, that's another video. We're going to talk about it in another video. I don't want to get into it. We got these problems going on. There's too many problems going on, and I feel, you know, I have anxiety disorder, so it's like it's making me almost giving me a panic attack. But anyway, let's get to some of these comments here. We got to focus on one thing at a time. No viable alternative options. Well, there is Nice Bus. Been stuck in Jamaica. No restoration. Nobody. No announcement. So again, very poor communication. Again, what is it going to take to get rid of Patrick Nowakowski? All right, they could have run the Oyster Bay trains with no problem. Why they suspended the Oyster Bay branch is beyond my guess. They should have diverted a lot of trains to East Williston and had the Oyster Bay branch running the minute this happened, instead of just telling people you're on your own. But they don't do that. They don't do that. All right, so let's see. All right, this was before the suspension. Oh, yeah, I'm going to look at the comments. I can't go over every single comment because there's so much going on here. So much going on. So much to talk about. West.Hempstead Branch. You know, people are just... this is a joke. The way this railroad, why not turn the 540 Express into Seaford and go further out? Yeah, it should have. It should have. That's the funny thing. The Flyers still went through Jamaica, and they didn't stop to accommodate people or anything like that, because we can't possibly inconvenience the snobs. You know, how's the Babylon tracks? The Babylon branch is fine. Take the Babylon branch. It's the only branch that you can rely on. So yeah, there are people now. Yeah, people are taking Nice Bus. God, even Nice Bus is doing more in this situation than the Long Island Railroad is providing. You know, it's unbelievable. Even freaking Nice Bus. You can count a Nice Bus better on a day like today than the freaking Main Line. That's how bad it's gotten. It's unbelievable. It's just I know. Yeah, they're trying to. Yeah, I know. PSEGs, Paul. It is. No contingency plans. What is it going to take for Mr. Nowakowski to be fired? Joe Lhota. Joe Lhota. What is it going to take to get rid of Nowakowski? Please arrange alternative buses. Buses to Hicksville. Well, they sent. Oh, it must be not service. I don't know if those were nice buses or not. So how are supposed to be able to get to Port Washington? Well, you can take the N23. They don't even tell you about the alternative bus service. No, people are stuck everywhere. People are stranded everywhere. They can't be. You know, New York City has so many freaking buses. They can't get buses out of the city to serve the good people of all. You know how much a ticket costs on Long Island Railroad? You know how fucking expensive it is to ride the Long Island Railroad? And they can't even get us buses in the city. So you're going to inconvenience some people in the city. So what? We pay a lot more for our public transportation than you guys do in New York City. We deserve better. So it's just an outrage. And there was no coverage in News 12. And we are getting one train stuck at Maryland. Yeah, and they're reversing the trains to free up track space so they can run that shuttle, I guess. It's always about the Babylon branch. Yeah, what is the down from the Oyster Bay trains? Exactly. Why should it have an impact on the Oyster Bay line? The way we're treated is just unbelievably criminal. And the News 12, nobody's talking about it. Nobody is talking about this absolute outrage going on. But we have to keep talking about it until Patrick Nowakowski is out. Okay, so lastly, you know, the power line situation. Look, I mean, this is the Babylon branch. They got those nice metal lattice poles. Look at Wantaw. Wantaw's got metal poles too. A lot of the Babylon branch has metal poles. All right. This is another example of how well they've been treated compared to us. Meanwhile, on our branch, what do we get? We get these wooden poles. We get these wooden poles, and these old wooden poles are falling apart and need to be replaced, and should have been replaced years ago. I mean, look, they look rotten. Here's an even better picture in the snow. Look at these poles. I mean, they're so old, they look rotten. They're not replaced at all. Yet the Babylon branch has all metal poles. I know they're not new, but why didn't we ever get metal poles? This is the main line. Why don't we get metal poles? This is a key power line that serves not only power for the railroad, but also, power for the area. It's a sub-transmission power line. What about that? But again, we don't get treated. I can't even. I'm burned out. All right, covering this. Sorry. All right, this is your job, News 12. You should be talking about this. All right, you guys get paid to do it, and you don't do it. All right. So that's all I have to say. Let me get this update up before we have a power problem here. Luckily, it stayed on for now. Hopefully, it stays that way. So take care, be safe, and I will have a much more complete update probably tomorrow or later tonight when things subside. Take care and be safe.